There's a very interesting broadcast. I haven't located it. I found it, but I wasn't able to get a copy of it. And Iran has a broadcasting website called The World Toward Illumination. Now, what a fascinating choice of words. Oh, okay, so we have the world leaning towards illumination, and states that this Mahdi, will form an army to defeat the enemies of Islam in a series of apocalyptic battles. So you can see Scripture being represented through all of this discussions, and it could be 90% correct and have a 10% twist to it, which perverts the scriptural prophetic statements. But this individual will have many of his forces, and his ability to speak well will, I would say, con everybody to believe a lie. And it's very close to what's presented with the papal authority and the Jesuit priests, etc., have been working towards this order for 1,600 years. And Maitreya Buddha, the same being, wisdom. Now, by wisdom they mean gnosis, or you don't know it. It's hidden. They'll have to tell you so you will know what to do. Well, what did Messiah, when he was on earth, say? I did nothing in hiding. I did nothing in a corner. I spoke the truth forthrightly, because this idea that you can present this hidden knowledge and secret documents and this, that, and the other falls in the line of the Antichrist, and it is a disgusting way to speak and present yourself. However, this is what they're presenting here. So, when he returns, he goes to Mecca, and then he goes on to Medina as he has to. The Iranian presentation, Shia Islam, isn't accepted by a lot of them. They're limited in what they can do about it. The original spiritual reading or individual that sort of his writings caused this assault of capturing the U.S. embassy and taking the individuals captive and getting rid of the Shah and all that type of stuff, was by an individual who said these people who support and believe what are termed Twelvers, meaning the 12th Imam's return, are a danger to the society amongst Islam. They're a danger to the planet Earth, and they should be stopped. In fact, they should be executed. So that's quite a statement from another Sunni Muslim. But anyway, it's sort of stated that this future Imam, or resurrected individual, will enlighten people by discussing, I guess you could say, religion at large, or your belief system at large, so that he's going to make sure that everybody understands the nature of it. You see, he doesn't have to be Iranian. He doesn't have to be from any nation, because he's not from any nation. He's from a belief system that is going to rule and control the world. It's sort of understood through the Hadith that he can only return in a period of dire straits, or wars, and rumors of wars, and plagues, and the destruction on the earth. So it sounds more like these people are reading the Bible and Daniel and Revelation than anything else, but that is what is going on here. Anyone who refuses to accept religion as is presented by the individual will have this sword or this knife come down on their neck. They have to be beheaded. The Babylonian Talmud says exactly the same thing, that people who are idolatrous all must be beheaded. And this beheading is related to this end-time individual who will beguile everybody with his smooth talk. We've spent our last 10 or 15 years, hopefully, not with our smooth talk to con people. The idea that we've tried to present is that we need to explain to people, how do you read ancient Hebrew, do your own personal translations into your native tongue, understand the goal, the explanation from the New Testament that are explaining the alterations to the priesthood, etc., and really didn't object vehemently to the Quran, which actually confirms a lot of what the New Testament is saying, even though it's misrepresented and poorly translated, typically. So that's why, this was coming up a bit more recently. I don't 8 or 10 years ago. I couldn't find them. But anyway, here's what is stated about this being, which is not really from the Quran, but from the Hadith, from the Arabic and Islamic version of the Talmud. The ImamMadhi will be an unparalleled leader in our ability to speak and to lead humanity. Well, yes, I can believe that. Very close to what is stated about this individual termed Antichrist. This a Muslim version of Isa will return and support him. This Muslim Isa, or Jesus, or Yahshua, or Jesus, will help this being to convert to what he's stating. And, this relates to the false prophet supporting the Antichristos. And so that's, all these items I'm going to read here have a very close link to what Daniel and with the little horn and the book of Revelation, they coincide quite well. There's a large army that's taking place, and wars, damage to the planet through these wars. This sort of a Muslim version of Isa or Jesus will have a name that the world knows, although the Messiah, after his resurrection, received a new name written on his thigh that'll be very clearly understood when he returns. This whole names issue is very, very important, even of deciphering it, of the 888, which is the numbers of the name of Jesus in Greek, which is what the book of Revelation is written in. And everybody's name has a number to it in Hebrew and Greek. Everybody. Yours does. So whenever your name is changed to Hebrew or Greek, you will have a number to it. We don't have that in English or in any Western languages. So this false prophet is described as a dragon in lamb's clothing. There's a new world order coming from this Antichristos and false prophet. And Antichrist is said to change the times. Now, the times are changed, of course, by the Roman Catholicism, and starting in the 3rd and 4th century. Nobody on planet Earth can read the Old Testament and believe that there's 2 or 3 gods is the one true God, or just emanations or parts of this one being. It doesn't exist. That it was ancient paganism, came from Trinitarianism. It exists in Buddhism and Hinduism, existed everywhere, and was accepted and adopted by the Church of God at Rome that was corrupted, taken over. In 325, they became binitarian. You could more readily read the consensus in 325 at Nicaea as binitarian than detheistic. Many of us have participated in various churches that believe this detheist belief, one of whom these 2 true gods who could actually die somehow, which is rubbish. And they then devolve into Trinitarianism. So just keep this in mind when you're watching the news and reading about what's coming. So there's a belief that he'll introduce this Islamic calendar, which is impossible to accept and keep the laws of God and the calendar of God. And they have a 12-month calendar of 30 days each, which rotates back through the solar calendar. So virtually every year, you have with each new month going back a month. So it takes 12 years to rotate back around, but it still doesn't line up with Passover and Atonement. Great. Beheading is a paramount one. They're supposed to kill all the infidels, which they would term and understand to be Trinitarians more correctly. They call them Christians, but part of the reason we call ourselves covenant-keeping body, but we're covenant-keeping Christians, and it's regrettable that Christians, are 20% of planet Earth as Trinitarians. But that's what we have to live with, and can explain it if people ask us.